So a musician workers union launches justice at Spotify. It's a campaign launched to demand 1 cent per stream for Spotify.
Yeah, we've talked about this, the newish like music union that's formed, the Union of Musicians and Allied Workers. And they've done a number of different things kind of calling out, especially in the time of COVID, how it's very difficult for musicians to earn a living, calling out the very business model itself, where I guess basically artists create songs for free in hopes that they can sell merch and go on tour and really make money there. But they're kind of trying to challenge that and saying, no, we shouldn't have to rely on touring, or we shouldn't have to rely on this model that only pays us like fractions of a fraction of a penny per stream. We want like a basic minimum. And so the unions called for 1 cent per stream.
It's really not that much, people.
It's a sizable amount, but if you're gonna negotiate, I would start there.
Yeah,
because if you get half a cent per stream, that's awesome. That's better than a YouTube number. And Spotify, in defense of me being a shill here, Spotify is making money on the margins, but so much of their costs go to the licensing deals with the major record labels. Yeah. So if you want to look at the big picture, it's also how much of a cut the record labels are taking. And it's put Spotify in an interesting situation because Spotify is also trying to be a record label itself. They're trying to cut off the record label so they don't have to pay as many of these fees so that they can keep the profits. Which is why I think it's a smart idea for this union to come in and say, okay, well, if this is the model we all know you're trying to move towards anyways, in this new model, let's make sure the artists are treated fairly.
Yeah, and because, I think that's it's warranted because there's so many smaller artists or up-and-coming artists that, the cliche starving artist thing where they need to have that income, they need to have that revenue source, especially during COVID when a lot of those artists, rely on sales of merchandise, sales of CDs and other stuff and physical forms at concerts, at venues. That's how a lot of these people get around, but that's impossible right now, so they need a revenue source of it. And there's about 900, it's been signed about 900 times from different artists, and there's a wide variety of artists on there. I'm sure you've heard of a bunch. I was just reading that list, I'm like, oh wow, I didn't realize there's a couple of people I know on it too.
Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah, we talked about this earlier about a lot of artists joining on Twitter. And it's very good. The united is harder to stand against or work against. So these negotiations are probably going to be kind of going on, and they'll continue over time. And it'll be interesting to see how it goes, because it's not like Spotify's gonna like go, okay, yeah, we'll give you more money, we'll make less money for our company. That's already
Daniel Ek is not like that.
Yeah, Daniel Ek's busy putting out the Joe Rogan and Alex Jones fire. He might be too busy to notice this fire.